Hello, Gianna. This is going to be a video makeup lesson for April 2nd, which was last Thursday, as I am recording it now. I am recording this outside. It is a lovely night, because I admittedly forgot to record this while the sun was out. So, let's start from there. We're going to start this video lesson off like we do any other in-person or video lesson. We start by tuning. Hopefully you're already in tune. And then we're just going to start by playing some nice open strings, like we typically do. So, I always like to start off on the A and the D string because they're in the middle. It takes the most intention to play those strings. So let's start with that. I'm going to start with the D string. I'm just going to go back and forth using my full bow for, let's say, 8 times. For the sake of the video, I might do 4, but I'd like you to do it 8 times. Alright, here we go. Notice how when I'm doing this, I'm keeping my bow completely perpendicular, making a right angle with the string in the direction of the bow. And I'm going from frog, which is where you keep your hand, to the tip of the bow. A nice sustained sound. I'm going nice and slow. You might find some difficulty going slow like this, and you might need a little bit more speed to get a full sound out. That's totally fine. Just go back and forth and get that sound out. And now I'm going to switch to the A string. Again, really pulling the sound out of my instrument with a nice bow angle and some heft on the string, making sure the sound comes out of the instrument. Like I said, pulling the string out, or pulling the sound out of the string. Now, we're going to do a similar exercise as the previous video, but we're just going to do a down bow on the D string and then an up bow on the A string. Same thing with these long whole notes. Down on the D string, up on the A string. Down on the D string, up on the A string. Now, the strings on a bass and the strings on a violin are the same but different. So your highest string on the violin is E. My lowest string is E. And your lowest string is G. My highest is G. Same with the D and the A string. My D string is actually higher than my A string. So it's weird. It's E, A, D, G. Kind of like a guitar. How your strings are G, D, A, E in ascending order. Totally fine. But what I'm going to say is we're going to jump between strings doing this nice long full bow. We're going to go... This will be your A string to your G, but I'll be playing A to G as well. And we're going to go down and up. So I'm going to go down on A, and then up on G, doing a string cross, crossing over the D string. Just getting a bit more comfortable with the angle of our bow. Trying to build some more familiarity with where our hand should naturally go to. You can see when I'm doing this bowing, my arm kind of just like locks in to where it's supposed to go. That's because I do this often. I practice. And your body will start to develop muscle memory on where to lock your hand. So you can see I kind of have this weird muscle memory thing. And then I'll do the bow and you'll see it's exactly where I just showed you. It's a little humorous actually. And after a while, you'll be able to do that too, which is the coolest party trick of all time. So now, once we've done that, I'm going to go up, down on these open strings. It's a lot of open strings today. I apologize. No, I don't. Open strings are awesome. I don't apologize. So we're just going to go from our highest string to our lowest string, down, up, down, up. So highest string, this would be your E string, and then up on your A string, then down, then up. So down, up, down, up. I'm going to start doing this with a bit more speed and velocity so we get the arms really moving. Going back up. We're going to do that a couple more times. Do that on your own. And we'll call that a warm-up. So now what I'd like to do is, I believe in our last video lesson we talked about doing scales in thirds, which is super nice, super important. I probably said do it pizzicato so it's a bit easier. Because I know in our lessons right now we're going over the D major scale, which is going from the open string D to high D on the A string. And every note in between. D, C sharp, B, A, G, F sharp, E, D. Going from top to bottom. So, in that video going over scales in thirds, I am going to do that again with you. I sent you that little PDF of the scale going up in thirds and then down in thirds. I'm going to do that real quick. I'd like you to play along if you have your violin out. If you don't, get your violin out. So, we're going to start from low D. Then we jump up to F sharp. There it is. So D, F sharp, E, G, F sharp, A, G, B, A, C sharp, B, D, C sharp, E, D. I'm going to go back down. Notice the angle of my bow still being perpendicular, still using a majority of my bow, getting a full sound out. So now that we've done that, we're going to try a different exercise this time, where we play with a shorter bow, and we play it a bit bouncier. This might be a nice way to get some sound out. We're going to do the D scale, where we play down and up, a down bow and an up bow on each note of the scale. And we're going to try to keep it light, keep it bouncy. I'll give you a little example here. Really sawing away at it. And we're just going to go up the whole scale. D, D, E, E, F sharp, F sharp. Back down. Which is a fun exercise to do, work on that bowing. I'm going to do it one more time. If you're playing along with me, I'll go a bit slower, so that's my apologies. I hope you are playing along. So, I'm going to do that a bit slower. So, now we're going to do that playing every other note. So we're going to be playing the notes D, F sharp, A, and D. This is what's called an arpeggio, or a broken chord, where you play each note of a chord separately because you can't play chords. You're not a piano. So, this is an arpeggio. We're going D, F sharp, A, D. Then we're going to go from the top down, D, A, F sharp, D. Doing the same bowing pattern where it's down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So now we're going to try to do that same bowing pattern with the scale in thirds that I sent in the previous video lesson. And I'm going to go quick, but you should take this slowly. So it's just the same bowing, bum, 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 D, F sharp, E, G, F sharp, A, G, B, so on and so forth. Here we go. Scales in thirds with different bowings. So the reason why I'm having you do the scale in thirds is because it's forcing you to do string crosses from the D to the A string. Going back and forth between these two strings is a really difficult thing to do and it takes a lot of practice. So finding ways to practice scales while going up and down and back and forth is going to be very helpful throughout learning the violin and continuing to practice violin once we have a pretty deep understanding of the instrument. I practice my scales in thirds every time I pick up my instrument. It is so helpful. It's vegetables. It's the vegetables of practicing. Okay, so I'm going to wrap up this video lesson. I hope you're doing well. And I'm excited to see you Thursday. Okay, bye.